What's going on, y'all? Today we are looking at some film. If you have not watched yesterday's video, which was on countering the body shot block counter, I advise you go ahead and watch that, because this video is all about setting up that body shot block, the counter to the body shot block counter. Whole lot of counters. So these first couple clips are me throwing the lead body hook in the center of the octagon, not against the cage. And the reason I'm showing you these is to show that I think this counter works best when you have your opponent pressed against the cage. So I'm throwing these and he's not making an effort to block counter. He's not really seeing it coming or nothing. And yeah, now I get him up against the cage, and when you get him up against the cage, it's a bit easier to be purposefully predictable, which is a weird thing to do because you almost never want to be predictable in this game, because then you get countered. But in this case, we want to get countered so we can counter his counter. We're trying to bait out the counter, and if I can be predictable in the way I'm going to the body and he starts to try and block counter me, that's good, because I of course can counter that. So again, we're pressuring him to the cage, backing in and out, not going too crazy, still pressuring. And here we get him here, and this is the first read I make. Okay, we get him to the fence and I throw these double body hooks. Now after this double body hook, he tries to block counter, but he's late, very late. I mean, I'm already out of the pocket, he whiffs, but in my mind it's the first read I make that he's trying to block counter. Block countering is on his mind. So I say, okay, let's go back to the body, see if he tries to block counter. Throw a lead body hook, he blocks, and he counters perfectly. I mean, he does a body shot block counter the way you're supposed to do it. Blocks it, counters with the same hand. And if you hear, yep, I don't know if you can hear me, but in the fight I said I know what to do now. So I go back to the body again, lead body hook right here, doesn't counter. I'm still looking for it. I'm trying to be a bit predictable on purpose with that lead body hook because I want him to counter me. So we're still looking for it, still going for it, and I just want you guys to listen to me in game here. Tell, I can smell. No, that was it. God damn it, it was it. So as you can tell, I had a bit of a conniption. Ultimately what happened is I knew it was gonna happen. Like, I knew he was going to counter me, I knew he was gonna block counter, and I just messed up the input or something. It's a mechanical error, not a mental one. It happens. So yeah, I'm kind of mad, but that was the first moment in the fight where I knew that it was possible, where I knew that he's trying to block counter me. If I'm predictable with this lead hook to the body, he's gonna try and block counter me. So we go back to fighting, in the center of the octagon, get him back to the cage, and I kind of start going to the body again, lead hook. And here I actually go for it. This was a bit preemptive, but you see I go lead hook to the body, slip, lead uppercut. So I'm looking for it. Go back to another lead hook to the body. Yep, you hear me saying I gotta find the timing. Can't force it, but I'm just trying to be semi-predictable with that lead body hook, so I want to get countered. So think about this from the perspective of making reads. Every time I have been pressuring Mucho against the fence and we are in close, I've been throwing lead body hooks, and every time I throw a lead body hook, he's been block countering, because I've been pretty predictable, pretty spammy almost with that lead body hook. So when we are in the scenario that I'm pressing him against the fence and we are in close, I know that his response to my lead body hook is going to be a block counter, and when I know what his response is going to be, I know how to counter it. But first we got to put ourselves in that scenario of me pressing him against the fence and being in close. How do we do that? With a moving forward slip hook. So we slip the jab, land the hook, and look where we are. We are in this scenario of me pressing him against the fence and we are in close. And in this exact scenario, what have I been doing all fight? I've been throwing lead body hooks, and what has he been doing to my lead body hook? He's been block countering it. And because I know what his response is going to be, I know how to counter it, I know how to act. I throw, he blocks. He tries to block counter, but oh, guess what? Guess what? I preemptively slipped that shit. And you guys can hear my reaction.
Yes! Yes! Yes!
Oh. And then I get rocked and going to lose the fight. But hey, it was fun. Didn't work out the best for me in the end. And that's why going to the body, I think, can be a bit more beneficial. Looking at his stamina, I mean, when he slips, he's pretty low on stamina, so going to the body might result in the body health event. I'm not exactly sure. Either way, it's still a good strat. I mean, that does a good amount of damage to either the head or the body. So that was some film analysis of the setup and the strategy that goes into this counter. You want to bait out your opponent's counters so you can counter their counter. And that's when this game gets really fun, man. It's reads on top of reads on top of reads and counters to counters. It's a beautiful thing. So hopefully I taught you guys something new. I informed you, educated, or something like that. If you enjoyed, if you learned something new, like the video, please help me out a lot. Consider subscribing. Most importantly though, thank you for your time and have a good day.